Hi guys, and welcome to another video with me, Chains. I'm going to try and keep this fairly quick. Right, I know that I said I was going to come back in March. It's now May, but real life has really been keeping me busy. Speaking of which, let's crack on to it. So, as far as real life goes, the main kind of bulk of it has been we've finished off the front of the house. We did have an area full of pebbles where we had a table and chairs, but we didn't particularly like it due to some of the cats using it as a litter tray. So basically we've cleared out all the pebbles, and me and a family friend basically built the patio area and did all the edging work, and with the little area that was left over we built another box garden. We were talking for a long time about putting panels down, and whilst we were building the patio we basically took the advantage of already doing work to set I think it was 4 new posts, and then to erect the panels, so that we end up with a bit of a windbreak, which is also to kind of block the vision from Steptoe next door. With the front garden pretty much done, all I had to do then was to paint all the bare wood, all the panels and the posts, cartridge all the flags so that everything was nice and clean. And yeah, as you can tell by the photos, we have a very nice home now. At times I kind of think that I'm no longer in West Yorkshire, I'm actually in Scarborough, because it does look like a holiday home now with all the bright colours, and yeah, it's really nice. And that's one of the main keys as to why we have spent a lot of money and a lot of time working on this. It is so that we have somewhere nice to live, but also we have pride in where we live and how it looks, so that when I do invite people up, like I'm hoping a couple of my friends are going to come up, we're proud to actually invite people up where we're okay with it, because we don't live in a shithole. Even though, with that said, the back garden is back to looking a bit ragged. As you can tell by, once again, the photos going up, I've had to do a little bit more work because of the work in the front garden. The table and the chairs were kind of passed to me, and I brought them down here. When I put them onto the patio, which we had kind of already, it filled it up completely. There was no way anybody could sit around that table or move around the table nonetheless. So I've had to extend the kind of mental planning that I had for the back garden and the patio. My hand was forced, so I've now had to put in another row, of which I'm about halfway through. I've got one pallet down. I need to dig out the space for the other one so that we can buy the bricks, buy the sand, cement, get the base fully done, and then I can set the table out. The main reason for this is so that, once again, when people do come over, we can have a game, go sit out, have a couple of beers. I can bring the barbecue down, to which we now have a pizza oven within the barbecue, and I can cook some food for us. So beer, food, tabletop gaming, role playing, you know, all sorts of different stuff that we could play down here. It's slowly but surely bringing the dream to life that I want to create for people and myself to come and enjoy. So that's the main reason as to why I've not been able to do any work. As for stuff that I was doing whilst I was working. Obviously I couldn't really do any painting, I couldn't do any modelling, pure and simply because majority of my time and money was going into the shed and building the patio and putting up the panels. So instead, with what I had left over, I went out and picked up all 3 books of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. I did that over several weeks / month, pure and simply because I got started watching the Critical Role show from Geek and Sundry. My nephews kind of jumped on board as well, and that was kind of what kept me sane whilst doing everything else. Within the Dungeons and Dragons, I am the DM. I run 3 NPCs going by the name of Illyria Pendragon, of which is a Tiefling Ranger. There is a dwarf going by the name of Thorin Dragonlance, who is our fighter, and then we have Balthrin Daw, which is our magic user. As for player characters, both nephews have their own character. Daniel, who is basically the main player, he is a half-elf paladin. So, as the original crew kind of sat, it was Daniel with his paladin, Illyria and Thorin, and then Tom, which is the other nephew, he played a gnome bard going by the name of Rompus, but due to his real life commitments, like work, he works through the week and sometimes the weekend, because Daniel's at university / college / university, he has his weekends free. So we kind of mainly did his games at the weekend. So with that, I had to break Tom away from the main party, keep him as part of the main, keep him within the campaign, but away from the main party, off doing his own stuff. So that's when I had to bring in Balthrin Daw. So to try and keep the battle rating system at what I've already been doing. Otherwise, what would happen is, because the party's power level, as per se, would drop significantly, the types of creatures that they could fight would also drop as well, thus making the speed to which they level up really, really slow. And I didn't want to do that, so I thought I'd bring in another character to keep that battle rating up, so that they could still fight some of these impressive creatures with nice XP outputs. I've created a continent, I've created a province called Falconmoor, to which they're currently travelling around. I haven't really pushed out too far with the main landmass just yet. I have something kind of pottering away in the background, but I'm not really focusing on it. But they've got Falconmoor to play around with. The main protagonist is mainly undead, even though they have fought a variety of creatures within the Dungeons and Dragons realm, kind of universe. But yeah, we seem to be having fun with it at the moment in time. We are on a hiatus because I want to get some work done. Within the next 2 weeks, we should have the shed fully insulated. And once that happens, then invites will go out. I want to try and get people down here to have a couple of games. Right, that's kind of the real life and kind of like circling hobby type thing. Now onto proper hobby time. As you can tell, hobby has been really non-existent. So with that in mind, I brought up all my paints and there's a little bit of money that I'd left over. I've gone on and bought some Alien vs Predator models, of which I have, on top of the core box set, which were basically 10 drones and 5 stalkers, which were basically the dog alien. As far as the hive goes, I now have 10 warriors to go with it, and the queen. Later on, I will be buying some of the new bloods and possibly some of the commandos as well, just to slowly but surely ramp up some of the other forces as well. Rumours are that the tabletop rules for AVP will be dropping at the second half of this year. I think it's the third quarter possibly. So touch wood, the rules come out and then I can really focus in on Alien vs Predator the tabletop. So with them painted recently, that was really more of an exercise to get me practiced back into painting, because I want to focus now on to painting the orcs, which I've been holding on to for about 2 years now for the Great Jojo Man. Straight off the bat, I want to send out a really big thank you to the Great Jojo Man for his patience. I have a feeling if it was anybody else, they'd be basically knocking down my door saying, "Oi, where's my models?" And Paul, Jojo Man, has done none of that. He's been an absolute dude. Yeah, he trusts me to get the job done. Yes, it has taken a long time. I'm going nowhere. He can get hold of me whenever he wants. And yeah, just, you're a dude. Thank you very much. And now it's about time I repaid that patience and that trust. So that's kind of one of the main reasons why I wanted to get some more painting done, so that I could have them ready for when the invitations go out, with getting this place finished off. So yeah, that's kind of like the main kind of like jive. As for extended hobby time, some of the things that I'm kind of looking forward to, what's on pause, what's kind of like for the future type thing. At Christmas I picked up Gates of Antares. Them models have been built. That's kind of like sci-fi bolt action with some extra rules for the weapons. I really want to play that. Unfortunately, as far as buying new models go, pardon me, I'm going to be holding off. I want to try and sit back and watch this game kind of evolve. I really like the plastics. I'm not too fond of spending £20 for 5 models. 5 metal models for some of the other races. I want to try and sit back and see what happens. I've got my bolt action from Warlord to keep me ticking over, supporting them. But as far as Gates of Antares goes, I'm going to hold back a little bit, watch to see what happens. Then we've got Frostgrave. I've got a lot of models kind of bought in. They just need painting up really. The main key for that game is terrain. There are a lot of companies, especially Renedra at the moment in time, making really cool terrain. So I want to try and kind of bring in a lot of them to build up the terrain for that game. As mentioned, with the Gates of Antares, I have bolt action. That is unfortunately going to have to go on pause for a little bit. I want to try and make room for other stuff. All that I really want to pick up for bolt action though are Panzer Grenadiers and more tanks. Rumours were that they were doing plastic paratroopers for the Allies, so I'm going to wait for them before trying to bulk out any of my allies. Allied infantry. I do want the new Wolverine kit, and I want to pick up some half-tracks, some armoured cars, that sort of stuff for bolt action. Speaking of Christmas, one of the other box sets which I got was Betrayal at Calth. That obviously means one thing, which is Warhammer 30k, which will be making an appearance on this channel. The bug has bitten. That box set in particular has pretty much solidified my ability to get into 30k. 2 box sets and pretty much you're laughing. You'll have 10 Terminators, 60 Marines, to which you can put into any configuration you want. I've kind of mixed them about. So I've got 60 infantry in total. I've only got the 5 infantry, the 5 Terminators currently. I had the Contemptors that were left over from when I bought them before the whole kind of like main push into the Horus Heresy as it is now, when they just released the Contemptor. I bought it then. What else is there? And because of the whole Games Workshop push into kind of like contained box sets, there's also going to be a little bit of 40k, but this time I won't be going for the Blood Angels. I will be going with the Genestealer Cult. That has been an army I wanted to play forever. When I first came into the whole Warhammer universe, the Genestealer Cult was around, but very, very quickly after that they kind of disappeared. They kind of got dropped for a more streamlined version of the game. On top of that, this weekend I believe they are dropping Silver Tower, which is Warhammer Quest. Same again, when I got into the whole Games Workshop thing, a good friend of mine at school had the game. I've got the rulebooks for them now, but I don't have any of the models, or the tiles, or any of the cards. All I have is 1 or 2 of the books. So, with Silver Tower coming out, maybe I can try to have a bit of a throwback type of thing. I will be using some Hearst Hearts stuff when I finally get the funds to actually start focusing in on the hobby again. I'll pick some of them up, I'll make all the tiles and try to match them up to some of the old layouts for Warhammer Quest, and then try to cobble everything together, because you need a dwarf, a barbarian, a wizard, a mage, and all, a wizard, an archer, a ranger. So they're all models that you can pick up quite easily from the Warhammer range or the Age of Sigmar range. So with any luck I should be able to cobble everything together. There's even websites with all the stuff you need to play Warhammer Quest, so I might go visit them and kind of cobble everything together for like one big Warhammer Quest type campaign thing. But yeah, that is pretty much me in a nutshell at the moment in time. Thank you for watching, guys.